What I'm going to do is email this out. I'll try to do it tonight if I can figure out how to attach it to the group email. Otherwise, it may be in the morning. If I can't figure it out very quickly tonight, I will go ahead and send it out in the morning. But welcome you guys to our first ever Dash to Director training call. Super excited. We have over 400 people that have signed up for Dash to Director. So that is fantastic. So we have lots of us cheering each other on. We are going to be doing lots of fun stuff. I am going to be doing a couple giveaways during this call. So be ready to answer in the chat. And Robin and Jamie, if you're on, please help me watch. I see Savannah, if you can help me watch as well, who posts first when I ask a question. So I want to make sure, but we're going to be giving like 4 giveaways. That way we can make sure that everybody is listening and maybe even taking some notes. So again, super excited about this. This call is going to be about getting started and building your business simple. And there are 4 basic steps to doing this. So I'm going to go through those steps with you guys. And the most important thing that I want you guys to take away from this is these steps that you are doing, you're going to make sure that you are then training your reps to do the same thing. They are training their reps to do the same thing so that you have that duplication happening within your team. That's what's going to cause your business growth, your team growth, and it's like that snowball effect. The snowball is going to start small, it's going to continue to roll, and it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we want that to happen, and what we want, our hope then, is for you guys all to take this to your teams and teach them to do the same thing, keeping it very simple, very doable, and very easy. So when I first started, I remember thinking to myself when I was invited to my first party that I can do what she's doing. I remember watching the rep and I remember thinking, I can totally do what she's doing. Like, I can do this. If I would have been watching and thinking to myself, that seems very complicated, that is way more than I could do, I would have thought to myself, that's something that I can't do. So you want people to see this business as being something that they can duplicate, something very easy. You want them to look at you and say, I can totally do what she's doing. I can do that. That's super easy. That's super fun. I want to do it. And then you want them to teach their reps that same exact thing. So in doing this, when you were starting out with this Dash to Director, if you have not gone to the actual Dash to Director website and started with step number 1, that is the very first piece that we want you guys to do. So make sure that you watch the welcome video that is posted on there. And the first step of that is writing out your why. Why did you start this business? Why did you join Zaya? And all of those days and all of those times where maybe you're getting no after no after no, people are telling you, no, I don't want to host a party, or no, I don't want to become a rep, or you feel exhaustion, you feel like you don't want to work your business. Think back to why you started doing this business. What is your why? Dig deep in figuring out what that why may be. And always have that in the front of your mind, on your heart. So in those times where it is difficult and it is trying, you're going to think back to why you joined this business. And that is what is going to pull you through those times where you may feel like it's very hard, or it's, stressful, or, this business is very peaks and valleys. It's that time where you're, not on a peak and it's not going as expected. You're going to think back to that why. So when you're on the Dash to Director website, that is the very first thing you're going to do when you listen to my welcome video. You're going to then start with step number 1. And with step number 1, there's an exercise. And it is so important to go through every single step 1 through step 7, and make sure again that you're clicking on the title of the step. When you click on the title of the step, you're going to be able to pull up the PDFs that are attached to each step. And some of these steps include an exercise. Some of them do not, some of them do. So make sure that you do click on the step. Okay, you guys. So we're going to walk through the 4 simple steps in building your business. And when I'm talking about this, again, I cannot stress enough how you are then going to teach your reps the 4 simple steps. In doing so, it's going to help you build your business. It's going to help them build their business. and so on. So first step, write these down, you guys. First step, okay, you can't hear me. Oh, I hope you can. Give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you can hear me. Everybody, okay, good. Okay, step number one, you guys, is reach outs. Number one is reach outs. When you're building this business, you are reaching out to hundreds of people. And when I say that, I know sometimes it's scary to think, oh my gosh, I have to reach out to hundreds of people. And I don't mean get off this call and reach out to all 100 of them tonight. What I mean is throughout your journey of your business, you are going to potentially reach out to hundreds of people. And it takes reaching out to hundreds of people to have success in this business. So when you're on the Dash to Director website, our step number one is helping you make your list of who to reach out to in your business. There is an exercise of writing down 100 names in 10 minutes. And Robin walks you through that exercise. And why this is so important is when you're starting to reach out to people to book parties and people to join your team, you sometimes think that, oh, I've reached out to everyone, but I really, really can't stress enough, most likely you have not. There are hundreds and hundreds of people that you can reach out to, and that exercise is going to help you walk you through the steps of reaching out and why that is so important. It is so important because that is what is going to bring you your parties. That is what is going to bring you your new reps, is reaching out. And those people that you reach out to, those are going to be people that you're going to be able to follow up with and reach out to again. So go to that step one, that exercise, and that is so important in building your business. So you're going to reach out to anyone and everyone that you can think of. If I could go back through my Facebook Messenger, and I should take screenshots of that so I could show you guys, or my text or emails, I have reached out from the day I started 18 months ago to hundreds of people on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, texting, calling friends, hundreds of people. And it takes hundreds of people because here's the thing, you guys, you are going to go through so many no's, and you are going to go through no's, and I still go through no's all of the time. I was just telling a group last night and doing some training. Yesterday was my day where I sat down and did a ton of reach outs, and I got a lot of no's, a lot. But here's the thing, those no's are going to bring you your yeses. So it is so important that we train our teams and our reps to know you need to celebrate the no's, because that's what's going to bring you the yeses. Those no's will eventually turn into yeses, some of them will remain no's, but that's okay. But if you don't ever plant that seed and ask people to join you, they can never say yes. If you don't ask people to host a party, they can never say yes. You have to make sure that you do the reach out. So that is step number one. That is key. That is the most important part. Because if you're not reaching out and you're not asking, people can't say yes and you can't book parties. Step number two is the party. You have to, if all of you on here want to hit that goal of director. And when I first started this business, I started and I looked at the rank tables that Zaya had put out and I studied them. And I still to this day do this exact same thing. Last month when I hit presidential, I was studying that rank table. I was looking at, okay, what do I have to hit personally? What does my team have to hit? What is my level one? And what does my group volume need to be? You, in order to get to those ranks and to those goals, the key.
I just texted her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is so weird. My
yes, okay, good.
I'm here. So sorry. My Wi-Fi never does that. My Wi-Fi just like cut out all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. Where did I freeze? What was I saying?
Party.
Okay, party.
When you first started.
Yes. When I first started, you guys, I booked as many parties as I could. I filled my calendar. What I did was I how come I can't mute now? I don't know what happened, but I set my calendar and I told myself for 12 months, I am going to book as many parties as I can, as many as I could. And that's exactly what I did for 12 months. I wanted to see where I was after 12 months, and then 6 months after 12 months, and now I'm in my 18th month, I still do the same exact thing. Now, have my parties gone down? Yes, they have gone down. I don't book as many parties as I did in the beginning because in the beginning I was just had reached out to so many people. So I don't book as many, but my goal is to still book at least one party a week, if not more. If I can get more scheduled, I will. But in the beginning, I booked as many parties as I could every single week. And those parties came from step number 1, my reach outs. If I would not have been reaching out, I would not have been able to book as many parties as I did. Your rank advancing, your reps, and more hostesses are going to come from your parties. The key ingredient, if you want the secret sauce, if you want the key to building your business, it is the party. If you feel like in your business is slowing down, there's no momentum, you can't get things to grow, most likely you just have to put a party on it. And I'm not going to take, not responsibility is not the word, but I'm not going to take ownership of that saying. When I first started, Amy Ward did some training, and I remember listening to her, and I know Robin and Jamie can say the same thing. She did a training, and she said, if you feel like you aren't growing, you need to put a party on it. It truly is about the party. And still at a presidential rank, I still feel it. If I don't have parties booked, I feel my momentum go down. I feel my growth go down. I feel my excitement go down. It's all in the party. It is so important to book. Do what your life will allow you to do with booking parties. But if director is your goal, then I would book, 5 to 6 parties per month for the next 90 days. If you can get more, have at it. That would be fabulous. But 5 to 6 parties for the next 90 days. Teach your reps to do the same thing, because in order for you to hit director, you should really have a goal to be helping 2 people on your team hit senior rep. So in order for you to promote to director, you want to help 2 of your teammates promote to senior rep. And I'm not going to get into the numbers right now, that's going to be a later training with Savannah. But in order for you to have 2 senior reps on your team, each of those people have to have 3,000 in group volume. That's 6,000 right there. You're already over halfway to director. So it is so, so important, that senior rep title, to be able to help 2 people on your team hit senior rep to promote you to director. So in order to do that, you have to have parties, and your team has to be booking parties. So they need to start with step number 1. They need to be reach out to hundreds of people. And then they need to book as many parties as they can and what their time will allow them to do. Now, I'm going to remute here, guys. Okay, so parties is the key. That's the key. That's a secret sauce. That's the ingredient. It is so important to schedule those parties, because that is where the magic is going to happen. If you are struggling with booking parties and what to say, that is again where that step number 1 on our Dash to Director website is so important, because Robin also has attached a PDF of some sample scripts to help you walk through, like, here's what you can say. Simple things. If you're struggling with that, reach out to your upline, have them walk through what you should say or what you should do if that is your struggle. But again, start with step number 1. It's going to help you with your reach outs, and that's going to help you with your scripts and booking parties. So
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
It looks like a few people are in the waiting room.
Nope, I got him. Should be on. Thank you, though. I just added 2 that were sitting there. Okay, so step number 1, reach out. Step number 2, parties. Step number 3, write it down, is follow-ups. And those are going to come from your reach outs and your parties. So After you've reached out to several people, hundreds, and after you've booked your parties and you've had parties, you are going to follow up with every single person that ever buys something from you. You are going to reach out to these people and you are going to ask them how they like their Zaya that they buy. And they're going to tell you that they loved it. And then you are going to ask them if they would want to earn free and half off and if they would want to host a party. Or you're going to ask them to join your team. And you're going to follow up with those reach outs that you did. And if they told you no, you're going to let time go by and you're going to re-follow up with them. And you're going to ask them if they are now ready to host a party or if they are ready to join your team. The fortune is in the follow-up. The key is in the follow-up. It is so, so important to follow up with these people because here's the thing. When you first ask them, their timing may not be right. But you have planted that seed and they may never have even thought about hosting a party or thought about joining your team. But after you ask them, you have planted that seed and they're thinking about it now. So they're watching you. They're paying more attention to Zaya because you put that thought in their head. If you would have never reached out and never asked them, they would never have that thought in their head. And here's the thing, as time goes by and their life changes and things change and seasons change, the timing may be right the second or the third time you ask them. Don't give up on people, especially if they're weighing heavily on your heart and you know that Zaya can be life-changing to them, whether it's the community that they join, the light that it brings to their life, the financial impact it could help them, mentally how it could help them. Whatever it may be, don't give up on them. And I don't even know if she's on here, if Wendy, yes, she is. Wendy Tryon is on here, and I'm going to just tell a little story about how important follow-up is, and she can attest to this, is I reached out to her probably, and I said this last night, and I need to count actually how many times I reached out to her. I wanted her to join my team. I knew she would be awesome at Zaya, and I knew it would be so different for her and something just fun and exciting. And so I kept reaching out to her. She told me no to hosting a party. I think I reached out to her once a month for several months, like 6 to 9 months. I don't even know. And she at one point told me, I will let you know when I want to host a party. And I was like talking to my husband one night and I said, you know what? I keep asking her to host because I want her to join my team. I just know she would be awesome. And I just know Zaya would just be so fun for her. And another thing was I always enjoyed her when I saw her. Our sons played in several, know each other through mutual family, played at same different basketball events. I just knew she would be someone I would want on my team. So my husband told me, tell her what you just told me. Just tell her that. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I'm going to give it one more shot. I reached out to her and I said, Wendy, the reason I keep asking you to host a party is because I want you to be a rep on my team. It's not because I want you to host a party. It's because I want you to join my team. I can't stop thinking about it. I want you to be on my team. She then told me that it was my consistency and persistence in asking her and following up with her that she said yes. Because out of all these people that had reached out to her, I was the one that followed up with her. So, and I was worried I was being annoying and I was, whatever, but I didn't want to give up on that fact that I really wanted her to be on my team. And so honestly, you guys, the key is and the timing wasn't right for her when I originally reached out, but then the timing was right later. So you just never know. Just don't give up on people, especially if you can't get them out of your mind or out of your heart. Follow up with them. The fortune is in the follow-up. I cannot stress that enough. It is so in the follow-up. Keep it simple, too. Do not vomit at the mouth. Do not write paragraphs upon paragraphs of what Zaya is, why they should join, why they should host. Keep it simple and sweet. That is all I do. It's like 1 to 2 lines, simple and sweet. The more simple, the better. Because most of the time, if somebody gets a long paragraph or a message, they're most likely not even going to read it. So again, you guys, reach outs, parties, follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to follow up with everybody, anyone that orders from you, anyone you've reached out to. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Ask them to host, ask them to join your team. Because if you don't ask, they can't say yes. And it's hard for people to join your team by it's not very likely that they're going to just say, hey, I want to do Zaya, which does happen. And it can happen, but it doesn't happen very often. So to book parties, you have to ask people. To have people join your team, you have to ask people to join your team. Step number 4, recruit. So you are going to recruit. You are going to ask people to join your team. Now, I ask every single hostess that has ever hosted a party with me to join my team. Here's the thing. If you don't give them the option, I'm not hardly watching the chat right now, you guys, but I will here in a second. I'll go back in here. If you don't tell the hostess that they have the option of using their credits for the starter kit to become a rep, how are they to ever know that that's an option for them? So it's not salesy. It's not you feeling like you're, begging someone. You're just giving them the option. You're saying, hey, you earned $150 credits from your party. Here's your option. You can use it for the starter kit, which comes in these 5 pieces and a $100 gift card. And I think you would be fabulous because you had such good engagement in your party. You're already pretty much doing what a rep does. You posted a couple pictures, or you can use $150 for free credit to order whatever you want. That's it. Give them the option. And sometimes when I talk through this with teams, they're like, oh my God, I've never given my hostess the options. And then I'll get these texts that they're like, I just got 3 reps to join just from doing that. I'm like, yeah, you're just giving them the option of what they can do with their money they earn from their party. So in my mind, I feel like it's our obligation as reps to give them that choice of what they can use their credits for. So number 1, that's a very easy way to recruit. And I always tell my hostess reasons I think they should join. Don't be shy in sharing the reasons you feel they should join. What has Zaya done for you? Why would you want someone to join this business? What community do we have? What light has it brought to your life? How do you feel uplifted? How financially has it changed your life? Even if it's $200 a month you're making, that is huge for people, you guys. Extra $200 a month to $500 a month is everything to people. If there's a kid that needs braces in their family, if they need new tires, if they've never gone on a vacation, if they're never were able to go on a honeymoon, whatever it may be, that is so impactful for people. So don't be scared to share it with people. So we need to be asking people to join our teams and the reasons why we want them to join our teams. So those are the 4 steps, you guys. Reach outs, parties, follow up, recruit. And then you're going to repeat. And you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to teach your reps to do the 4 steps and repeat and do it again and do it again. And they're going to teach their reps to do those 4 simple steps and do it again and do it again. You see where I'm going? That's the snowball effect. That's the duplication of building this business. You can sponsor wide and you could sponsor 100 people, but if those 100 people never do those 4 simple steps and repeat and do it again, you're not going to grow depth. And to be successful and to hit director, you have to grow depth. Going back, you have to at least try to help your team have 2 senior reps on your team. You have to do the 4 simple steps and repeat and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then what happens, it becomes a snowball effect that you can't stop. Because you've created that mindset of the simplicity of this team and being able to fast start train your reps. If they're fast start training their reps, they're doing the same thing and they're doing the same thing. This business is very much, and I say this all the time, monkey see, monkey do. So whatever I'm doing is what my team's going to do. So if I'm training my teams to do the 4 simple steps and to repeat, they're going to teach their teams to do the same thing. if I'm sitting back and I'm telling Robin, you need to reach out, you need to book parties, and you need to do this and this and this, but I'm just sitting back on my couch not doing any of those things, what's Robin eventually going to do? She's going to eventually sit back on her couch and do the same thing I'm doing. So again, you guys, whatever you're doing, they're going to follow your lead. So the sooner we can teach our reps to fast start those 4 simple steps and repeat, the sooner they're going to teach their reps to do the same thing. So I always say, if you sign up a rep, 24 to 48 hours after you sign them up, connect with them and start teaching them the 4 simple steps and book a party as soon as they can. They don't need to know anything. When I first started, I was booking as many parties as I could, and then I'm like, holy shit, I have all these parties booked and I don't even know what I'm doing. But you know what? I just jumped in and did it. And that is the best way for your reps to learn. There doesn't need to be extensive training and emails and videos. Honestly, you guys, none of that. The more simple you can keep it and the more that they just jump right in and do, the faster they're going to see that they can make a paycheck. That is huge. The sooner you can show your reps they can make a paycheck, their momentum is going to be here to here. Their excitement is here to here. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just made $250 off one party. Are you kidding me? What are they going to do? They're going to book more parties. They're going to see like, holy crap, if I book 2 more parties, I can double, triple that. If they can feel a part of the community right away and they could see how inspired they can get and how good they can feel, they're going to want to keep going. But if you let too much time go by where they don't feel that, they don't feel the paycheck, they don't feel the energy or the momentum, it's very hard to have them do the 4 simple steps and repeat. And here's the thing. You can relaunch them though. Don't be sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I have 5 reps and they really haven't done anything yet. Now it's too late. It's never too late. Relaunch them, 4 simple steps, repeat, go. Tell them it's never too late. Let's launch you. Let's get it going. I'll help you. Let's do the 100 names in 10 minutes that Robin's exercise on our Dash to Director website. Let's hear some sample scripts. Let's do your reach out. Let's reach out. Let's book your calendar with those parties. And after we've done that, let's follow up with every single one of those people so we can book more parties and we can add reps to your team. And then we're going to recruit those reps, and then we're going to repeat, and we're going to do it again. And then we're going to teach your new reps to do the same thing. And then we're going to teach them to teach their reps to do the same thing. Does everybody get what I'm saying? So I repeat myself like a broken record, but honestly, it is the key. And the more simple we can keep it, the better. And for those of you that have read this book, listen, sister, are going to know that everything I just said is in this book. And Sam Higginson referred this book to me and said, you need to read this book. My sister was one of my first reps. He said that this lady reminds him a little bit of myself and my sister and some others on our team. And they're from small town Oklahoma, small town Iowa. And they are have 80,000 women on their team now. They are part of Roden and Fields. And they fast start their reps. And they do the 4 simple steps. And they do it over and over and over again. And they teach all of their team to do the same thing. And they really, really stress with the reach out, it takes hundreds of reach outs. It's not something that you can reach out to 10 people and get 10 no's and feel like a failure. Like, don't feel like that. You need to celebrate. I will get a text message from some of my reps and it will say, I just reached out to 10 people and they all said no. And they're just defeated. And I will send them back like high fives, clappy, like, yes, that's 10 people that are now thinking about Zaya that were not thinking about it before. And trust me, and I have so many stories of people that will say, oh my gosh, I reached back out and now all of a sudden they want to do it. Yes, that's what happens. Like, it just takes time. It takes time and consistency of those 4 steps and you repeating it over and over and over again. And pretty soon you're going to be like, I can't stop what's happening, because you were so consistent, persistent over time is when that brings success. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in 2 weeks, and it's not even going to happen in 30 days. But I promise you, if you stay consistent and persistent with those 4 simple steps over and over and over again, you will have success. And if you don't, you can beat me over the head, but I promise you, you will. So I'm going to do our first giveaway. We're going to give away 4 of these books. So I'm going to watch really quick. The first person that can post in the chat what step number 1 is gets a book. Okay, we got number 1. Oh gosh, I gotta go back. I might have one. Let's see. It looks like Laura Behrens.
Laura Behrens.
Laura Behrens is. Okay, Jamie, will you write these down for me?
Yeah.
So Laura Behrens, you're number 1. Number 2. What is step number 2? Okay, we have a winner. Step number 2. I'm going to trick you up with this one, so don't start writing step number 3. Parties. Chelsea is step number 2. Okay, I'm going to wait for the next 2. All right, really quick. Before I open it up for questions, because I don't want to keep you too long, you guys, for all of you that want to be a director, and I know I mentioned it, and Savannah's going to go through it in more detail on her call, but I can't stress enough for you to study the rank advanced tables. I used to tell my reps when I first started, I studied this thing like it was a Bible. I would print it out. I would pull it up on my computer all the time. And when I first started, I started as I'm a rep. What do I have to do to hit junior rep? And I would study it. And I would hit junior rep. And then I'd say, okay, now what do I have to do to hit senior rep? And I would study it. And the funnest part of the whole progress in all of that is you can't have success unless you take your team with you. So as you're rising to the top, you're taking all of these people with you. And that's the most exciting thing, because all of these people are rank advancing. All of these people are seeing success, and you get to experience it together. And it's the best part. So I would do that. Okay, I'm senior rep. What do I have to do to hit director? All right, I've hit director. What do I have to do? And my goal is I want to hit until you get to the bottom and you can't hit anymore. And I want all of my team to do the same thing, so that all of us can feel that success together. And Savannah will go through like in detail those numbers and share screen with you and walk through that. So don't think that we won't train on that, but it's key for you to understand, because you have to train your reps to understand it too. So if you don't understand it, then they're not going to understand it. And ignorance on fire is great to a point of being able to know, because if you have a rep on your team, it's like, yes, I want to hit director. What do I have to do? And you're like, I'm not sure how to explain that to you. You want to be able to walk through those steps with them. And then use the tracking sheets. So when you get to, Savannah, what step are you? I should know that. It's like step number 4 or 5, I think Savannah is on the Dash to Director.
Yes, I think so. I'd actually have to look too.
Yeah. So she has attached the goal tracking sheets. They are also on our Connect page in our units tab. I wish I don't have it, it's over in my desk right now, but I print that off every month. So, and then I also, you guys, in my, I'm going to show you really quick, because I'm going to show you what I did last month for president when I was gunning for presidential. I say this to all my level 1s will know, the first of the month, very shortly after the first of the month, the first thing I do is I tell them, send me your goals and write them down and look at them every single day. I swear that has helped me build this business. I have always written my goals down every month, what I wanted it to be. I write down what rank I want to hit, so you can see that. I write down how much personal PV I want to hit. I write down how many new reps I want to sponsor. And then I write down all of my level 1s and what their goals are. And then I literally look at this thing every day. And I'm like, okay, it's the 5th of the month, where are we at? Okay, it's the 10th of the month, where are we at? I'm reaching out to my level 1s. I'm studying where they're at. I'm looking at them, helping them. and those goal tracking sheets. So I write it in my calendar book because I like to have it all with my like calendar and my notes. And then I use the goal tracking sheet too. That will help you on your road to director, junior rep, senior rep. It will help you as a director helping your 2 team members get to senior rep. So print those out. And Savannah will cover that in more detail on another call. And then you guys, when doing that, one important thing that you need to remember is everything that you're doing for your business, like your VIP pages, your parties, your shout outs to your team members, all of that stuff is you're working your business. Like that is you working your own business. You have to, at times, during the week and the month, remove yourself from your business. Like you're floating in the clouds and you're looking down on your business. And I remember Ellie trained on this. She talked about this in a training call. She said, remove yourself from your business, float around and look down at your business and drill down. Where are all your level ones at? How close are they to their goals? Where do they need to be? Other things you can look for. If you've got sponsored 5 people and those 5 people have never sponsored anyone, what's the problem? Reach out to those 5 people and say, hey, let's have a training call on recruiting. Scripts you can come up with, how you recruit, how you ask your hostesses to be reps, work with them on that. If you're seeing that all of them have sponsored someone, but they don't have any parties booked, no parties, no volume, okay, then red flag. What's happening here? Let's talk about reach outs and how to book parties. So you need to remove yourself from your business and drill down to find those red flags. Because when you find those red flags and you're able to fine tune those things and help those things, that's what will grow your business. Because all of those things are so key and so important in building. Is it that you have someone on your team that's a level 2 that is just going balls to the walls and their team is blowing up? But you've had no communication with them because maybe your level 1 isn't wanting to build their business. Then you need to jump down to number 2 and get involved and say, awesome girls, what are you doing? Where's this momentum coming from? Share it with our teams. So take yourself out, look down, dig deep. And we'll get more into depth and training about that as well. But that is so key in building. And I like to do it on set different days. So like Monday is my day to do all my follow-ups. Tuesday is my day to set up all my parties. Wednesday is my day to do shout outs to all of my team and drill down numbers. So you don't have to do every single thing every day. Choose to have a bucket every day and say Mondays I'm doing this, Tuesdays I'm doing this. Wednesday may be your day where you drill down your team. But make sure that you're doing.
Turn left onto Wernal Road.
Oh, somebody's GPS is on, telling them where to turn. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the chat really quick. I don't know what questions I've met. Okay, so we're gonna give away another book. What is step number 4? Okay, I got it. Step number 4 is recruit. And oh gosh, how is that even pronounced? Nuevi Life? I don't even know what that is. Can you see that, Jamie? Yeah. Okay, got it. And really quick, what is the last phase of all 4 steps? What do you do? Repeat. Okay, good. You guys are too quick. Okay. It looks like Katie. All right, awesome. Okay, so Jamie, I think got those. So we'll be getting you guys a book. If you already have it, read it. If you haven't read it and you need to order it, it's on Amazon for $12. Otherwise, I've heard you can get it off of eBay for like $4, reps were saying. This I read in like one day. It's super easy reading, and it's all of the things we talked about tonight are in this book. Super, super good stuff. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to unmute the lines for any questions anyone has. Other than that, we're going to let you guys go, or Jamie and Robin, if anybody has anything to add. So I'm going to just go ahead and unmute. Right, does anyone have any questions or comments?
What is your 1 to 2 lines that you start with when you're?
For hosting or for reach outs or for follow-ups or which one?
I would say for recruiting.
For recruiting, a lot of times I'll just say, have you ever thought about being a Zaya rep? I mean, I just cut straight to the chase. Have you ever thought about being a Zaya rep? Because I think you'd be awesome. And here's a couple reasons why. I don't usually say like, have you heard of Zaya? Here's what Zaya is. Because most people, when you start like that, most people are like, oh, it's just another one of those things, or she's trying to sell me something. So I usually start it like that. When I'm asking to host parties, a little tip, I always include a date. So if I'm asking someone to host a party, I would say, great, that's awesome, you love your light and tights. Would you want to earn more free and half off? It's super, super easy. All you have to do is add people to the group and I'll take care of the rest. I have August 1st through the 5th open and August 7th through the 12th, which date works. If you word it like that, it's very hard for them to be like, I don't want to do one. I mean, sometimes they still will. But if you leave it open-ended and say, let me know if you ever want to have one, most likely they won't let you know. But if you put the date.
So I think, can everybody hear me?
That's annoying.
Saying that, yeah, she'll always include a date, like, hey, are you interested in having a party? I've got an opening the week of August 18th. And so we're already going there. We're already talking about a date. It's concrete rather than saying like, hey, you want us to party? It leaves it more open-ended and you're requiring her to give you that answer back.
Thank you,
Amy,
Robin.
did you message her?
I'm on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Of all
she's on.
days when my internet is cutting out, it's tonight. Seriously, this never happens. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's a key that I need to stop, a thing that I need to stop talking. Thank you,
Somebody
Robin.
has asked a couple times about how you like wording a no. Like, how do you kind of respond back to that? Or like following up with them even after a no?
Usually I'll just say something simple like, hey, I'm just reaching out to you again. We have some awesome new fall releases that are going to be coming. Are you interested in hosting a party? I would have these 2 dates open. Even if they said no, just ask again. I just basically ask again.
Yeah, and I do the same thing. And you can always say, you know, I know last time I asked, it may not have been the right timing for you, but I have these 3 openings this month. Would one of those work for you? I'd love to help you add to your Zaya collection. Or I'd love to help you get some free and half off Zaya.
And I know too, like when I first started, like maybe in your area, a lot of people haven't heard of Zaya or don't have any, but then like once Zaya, more people in an area start wearing it or liking it, then more people, I find more people want to host then because they're like, oh yeah, I love my Zaya, I'll host now. I mean, I'm finding that a lot of the people I followed up with from where I reached out in the very beginning that said no to me now say yes because they either have Zaya and they want it, and so they're willing to host a party. So I just basically ask the same question again, like, hey, I'm just reaching out to you again to see if you have thought more about doing a Zaya party. I have these dates available. And sometimes I'll throw in like, like fall is coming. We have lots of awesome restocks, or before summer, I would say summer's tanks and shorts are coming, stuff like that. You could do, if you get close to holiday season, you could say it's a great way for people to buy Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, stuff like that, depending on the timing of when you're doing it.
When it comes to a no with adding a rep, you guys, like, if they give you a reason like, I just don't know enough people, I'm not good with social media, I just don't think I can do it, those are not true no's. And Savannah will say, those are actually yeses. You just have to help her get there. You need to instill that belief in her that, no, you can do this. I will help you get through this. Like, Let me help you like ease those insecurities. I have come across this too many times to count. They want to jump in, they just need you to help them make that decision and make that leap. Like, seriously, those are really not no's.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was having a lot of issues. Like I had never heard of Zaya. And so then all of a sudden I have tons of people that were jumping on. And then now everyone has heard of Zaya. And I'm really having a hard time trying to, I guess I don't want to step on anyone's toes. And that's what I'm having an issue with. What would you suggest?
Like step on another rep's toes, you mean?
No, just, well, yes, kind of. In our area, all of a sudden it's kind of become a huge, awesome, and it's so awesome. I still, like, I'm so proud, like, excited that everyone is, oh, it's Zaya.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting, but I then feel bad asking people because I've asked, yes, I've already asked those 10 people, then I've asked those 20 people, and it's like, no, I already have a cousin that's doing it. I feel a little defeated.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad for the sake of people are going to support where they want to support. So and Carol, we have, gosh, I don't even know how many reps, a ton of reps. And honestly, it's actually a better thing because it's just hundreds of walking billboards everywhere. And so people love Zaya because everybody's wearing it, everybody likes it. There's so many positive feedback about the products, and people are going to want to support who they want to support. And so you can't feel bad. I mean, and a lot of times, a lot of people share the love. They're willing to, I hear a lot of people say, well, so-and-so got invited to a lot of parties. They don't have to order if they don't want to, but a lot of times they'll support multiple reps or multiple parties. And I would also then take the opportunity to reach out to people maybe in parties that, I know Chelsea does this a lot, even people that haven't ordered in one of your parties, maybe they didn't order because they couldn't afford to. So maybe that's an opportunity for you to share hosting a party because they can earn free and half off rather than, even if they didn't order, like those are all contacts for you, people in current parties, whether they order or not. Those are all follow-ups for you, but I wouldn't feel bad about asking. I would, and just respond to them. If they say, no, my cousin says, oh, great. Well, I'm glad that you're loving Zaya and that you have the opportunity to wear it even more, just spin it with a positive back to them. But you have to just overcome that fear of, feeling bad. And just kind of just brush that off as, you know what, it's no big deal. If they tell me no, they tell me no. And if they tell me yes, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And then also take the opportunity to reach out to people in other areas too, that outside of where you're living.
I think one of the biggest things to remember, hi, I'm Abby, by the way. I had a last month. And one of the biggest things like that I talked with Jamie about was just kind of, I went back to like people that bought from my launch party and just kind of made it super personal and was like, hey, I really want this to take off for me. Would you help me by hosting a party? There's no requirements or obligations. And people just started buying stuff and then they fell in love with it. And once they did, it was like, they all came to me to host a party. So like, it doesn't always have to be about like, book, like I took that approach and I'm pretty much booked out through like end of December because people are like wanting to host. And, I do work full time and I'm going back for my master's. So I like try to do 2 a week, but people are, and I've gotten probably 1,000 no's, which sucked, but that's like the motivator to keep going.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just going to say, Abby's been super, super consistent. She's right. Like when she first started, it wasn't same as whoever, I can't remember, Hillary, who was just talking. It wasn't super popular. And it took a little bit to get going, but she probably has gotten 1,000 no's, just like every one of us. But she kept going and asking and asking and asking. And then the momentum will start taking off. I know sometimes it feels like it's not, but when you are on a down, like you're asking and asking and nothing's happening, all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 people are going to be like, yes, 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 but you're never going to get there unless you keep pushing. And I know it does. I mean, it does you can feel defeated, but just know that when you're down here, you are going back up. I mean, it's just a matter of time as long as you keep going.
And my thing is I took Jamie's advice and I just asked 3 people every other night just so I don't get so many no's in one day. I'm like 3 no's are a lot better than 10 in one day. So that's also been very helpful.
And I like how that's a good point of bringing up. So a good way to reach out for people to host you is to say, hey, I just started this new Zaya gig. I would love if you could help me out with my new business. Would you be willing to host a party? I have these 2 dates available. So spin it like not, hey, do you want free Zaya? But hey, could you help me out with my business? A lot of people want to help you versus wanting Zaya, especially in those areas where people don't know what Zaya is.
I think, and once people try it, seriously, people are going crazy over it. So it'll be.
Yep. So Sue just asked, when you follow up with party guests, do you send them a message via Messenger? I do, and I've emailed them from their email contact, especially if they've ordered. Because a lot of times people will respond to email versus Messenger, because if they're not a friend of yours on Messenger, they don't always see your message until you become friends with them. But I have done a lot of messaging on Messenger too. But you will have their email from ordering. So you can send them a thank you email. Thank you for your order. Again, I was just checking to see how you liked your light and tights. How do you love them? And then don't just send them emails, say, hey, do you want to host? Start a conversation first and then ask them after you get the feedback from them. Starting on the 16th. Awesome. A lot of responses. I don't have time, even if I tell them they don't have to interact when they can. Yeah, I would just stress that they don't have to really do anything if they don't want to. You know, you're going to stress to your hostess to interact so that there's more engagement. But if they didn't want to, they wouldn't have to. A lot of times those are no's that I would re-follow up with again, because a lot of times the timing is just not right for them. They may feel overwhelmed in their life and they just don't want to deal with a party right now. I would then reach out to them in 30 days, 60 days and follow up with them again.
And for the no time thing, I always say, if someone says that, hey, are you on Facebook 5 minutes a day scrolling through Facebook? You have time to host a party. And that makes them go, oh yeah, it's no more than that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're coming to an hour. So I don't want to keep everyone so that we can make sure that everybody, I want to try to stay to 45 minutes, but if you guys have any specific questions about any of this, reach out to myself or Jamie or Robin or anybody, Savannah, Chelsea, any of us that kind of have put this Dash to Director together. But again, you guys keep the 4 steps, repeat, and make sure that you start with step number 1 on the Dash to Director website if you have not done so. Our next call is going to be August. We're not in September yet. August 18th, which will be Robin. And so we will be sending out details about the call as we get closer, but that is at 2 weeks from now. And in the meantime, we'll be doing some other steps. So from now until then, get started on those steps 1 through 7 if you have not done that. And those of you that won the free book, we will make sure and get that mailed to you. If your teams have not signed up for Dash to Director, remember anyone can join at any time. I will email this call out and I will talk to you all later. Thank you everyone so much for joining. Have an awesome night.